Tell you a little bit about the negative effects that humans have on our planet. Humans have left a considerably large mark on the planet. Some simple steps to begin to change that would be to carpool or walk even, and even sometimes the most simplest thing is to recycle. Steps need to be taken to correct what has already been done. Not only are we the only ones on the planet that can fix it, it is our responsibility. One of the major problems would be that not enough education is available about it. For instance, did you know that the Carolina dining cups are not recyclable? They're 100% compostable, but not recyclable. And every time they're placed in the recycling bin, it just messes everything up because they aren't recyclable. That's why having an option is sometimes dangerous when people are not educated. When given the option, people will actually try to do the better thing and recycle. But when it's getting contaminated, it just ends up being more and more less helpful. Okay, now we're going to transition into some things that can have an effect on the environment in a negative way. Tourism is a huge contributor to this. Studies have shown that there's been a large rise in energy usage and carbon emissions attached with tourism. One of the reasons energy usage goes up is because they have to accommodate the tourists in places such as hotels. CO2 emissions have risen 11.5% from 1988 to 2010 in Africa because of the effects of tourism from things such as transporting all the tourists that they have to accommodate. And they're going to continue to do this because tourism brings in a large amount of money for Africa. And the money will just be used to bring back more tourists, and it just becomes worse for the environment. Another thing that affects the environment would be livestock factories. They can cause the emission of greenhouse gases, can cause waste runoff, and pasture expansion into forests, and also land degradation. The factories that either house the animals or are near the factory as a whole produce greenhouse gas emission by burning certain substances such as coal or petroleum to use as a resource. Waste buildup from animals on the factory can cause runoff into certain areas. This can affect water supply and also the animals that live in the water. This can be caused by animal manure, urine, or any other offage. Again, this is the humans' fault, not animals, as it is not necessary or normal for animals to live in factories. And with the proper accommodation, this could be stopped. This can also cause pasture expansion into forested areas. This will lead to cutting down the trees and an expansion on deforestation, which has become a very large problem in major areas. Once again, this is not necessary to expand, it is motivated by the need for more money in many instances. Livestock factories can also cause land degradation, where once the land was flourishing and now it is dying. This comes from a large factor of overusing the land that they think they have ownage of, and therefore believe that they can do anything that they want with it. To address the counter-argument, some people believe that we are already doing enough to counter the mistakes that we've done, and then on the other side there's people who think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with how the earth is functioning because of humans' influence on it. To address the first about people already doing enough, there's a poll that says that 75% of people recycle. This is taken by the people who recycle, so we don't know if they're actually doing it. But there's still a factor of over 150 million tons of garbage getting dumped instead of being recycled properly and sorted. And to get to the other point, there's clearly a large amount of stuff wrong. A few things being air pollution, water pollution, waste runoff, deforestation, and CO2 emission. And that is a very small amount of the things that have happened because of human effect. So, to reinforce my solution, it would be to better educate people about how they can help. Two of the things that really helped me were my involvement in my AP Environmental Science class in high school, which really kick-started me on my passion about this subject. And then there's even a club here at USC called EcoReps, which has a large influence on how people can help the environment on campus. And last but certainly not least, these are my citations. without which this would not even have happened.